Another remake. Yes! Another remake. The only Salem's Lot I've ever seen was the original TV miniseries that I think Tobe Hooper directed. I remember Count Barlow looking really cool. And I know that the basic premise is guy goes back to his hometown, it's full of vampires. That's basically it. I did read the original Stephen King story, but that was like over 20 years ago. I don't remember any of the specifics of this thing, so it's going to be like watching something that's more or less totally new to me. What's with this Grindhouse font? Alfre Woodard, hey, I haven't seen her in anything in a long time. William Sadler, cool. Who directed this? Okay, I shouldn't have looked him up. The first 4 credits that pop up immediately, like my heart sank. I'll list them real quick. Let's look at what he actually directed, because he's only directed 2 things. He's directed Salem's Lot and Annabelle Comes Home. Basically, modern horror schlock guy. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have a good offering in him.
A large crate will be arriving at the wharf at 6 sharp this evening. Now this crate is very heavy, so you must take care as you move it. It's one of a kind. Do you understand me, Mr. Snow?
So far.
Okay. I'm sorry. I probably just spoiled it for myself by looking up the director, but already in the music, in the way this guy's acting, the way the camera is just on this flat plane and it's got, you know, left, right, jumping back and forth. There's not really like a lot of camera work that introduces any kind of atmosphere or moodiness to it. It looks like you're watching like a TV documentary remake. It's the history of American whiskey. Back in 1822, Jonathan Whiskey took a... It's that type of thing it's evoking. The sepia tone thing. Dude, I'm just immediately complaining. I might be coming down way too hard because I got my hopes shattered in the first few seconds, but I'll back it up, I'll let it play, and I'll shut up. I'm trying to keep an open mind. It's hard, though.
I knew past the stairs, finally delivering it to the back.
You go open it up.
You want me to open it?
That guy was really a character. I'm noticing, too, that the bearded guy, he's speaking kind of naturalistically, you know? It's a completely different kind of acting style than Mr. Straker, I guess. Really cheesy and over the top.
What? Let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh man, it really sucks I'm not Luke Perry, because he's dead.
And I used to live around here.
Come back for a visit?
Yep.
It's Bill Sadler, isn't it? You may know him from many things. I know him as Death. Pretty well-known character actor.
I don't like to work.
Yeah, I can tell the way your spine is bent. He's got pretty long hair for a cop, huh? Sundown, you better take care. Gonna play the whole song? Damn. Seems more southern. William Sadler wasn't exactly doing an impression of a guy from Maine, so maybe that's why it feels that way to you. But in terms of like how the town looks, this doesn't look like a southern town to me. I mean, also, you have to take into account that this is a period piece. Like, I don't know what time period this guy's supposed to be out of.
You look familiar.
Oh yeah, I forgot. The protagonist is a writer. Shock and awe.
Enjoy your book.
Good going, Suze.
She didn't embarrass herself. What? I, like, don't remember anybody. Almost like watching a completely new story to me. Look, she's playing Kathy Bates, Morgan. Look, Bill Pullman's son. That makes sense.
Oh shit, it's Richie Bowden. Come on, Mark.
Hurry before the scary music gets louder. Oh, too late.
Welcome to the lot, dillweed.
Sorry, what year is this again?
Fucking goof.
Bait the haymaker, double leg takedown. Or that, I guess, whatever that was. God, he's like a cop.
Oh, break it.
Hey, this bully kid right here, is he Chunk's son? Chunk from the Goonies? You have this information. Please confirm. I remember when I used to twist kids' arms. Getting old sucks.
Now say I'm a big ugly turtle.
Back to your corners.
When he picked him up, the way that kid just kind of like turned into a marionette, it was hilarious.
Back to your corners.
I think it's the arm swing thing that sells it for me. You know, just because this guy's some kind of weird vampire-loving freak doesn't mean he has to walk around pretending he's like a Civil War reenactor or whatever he's trying to do. I don't understand what this guy's going for. He's making the movie worse with his awful hammy performance. The child actors are better than him. It's saying a lot.
Honestly, who are we discussing, ladies? Floyd Tibbets, perhaps?
Mind your business, Mabel.
Shut the fuck up, Mabel.
Ben Mears, the author, years ago.
This is just like Stephen King's fantasy that all the ladies in Maine want to give him a blowjob. It's probably true now, but that's just because he owns half of Maine.
I'm sure he's doing research for his next book.
He's literally like 15 feet away. How could he not hear everything?
Tonight I'm going to the drive-in.
Doesn't all this stuff scare you? You're not afraid of anything, huh? Not even Richie Bowden. I had to fight back.
Wow, Trog poster.
It'll be
Based. He's based. He's Trog based.
Trog!
Sugar Hill.
The foxiest,
Looking for anything special?
sexiest, deadliest chick in town.
Man, I bet you Stephen King is just eating up these musical choices.
The sun's setting. The show will be starting soon. I have a secret spot. Come on, I'll show you.
Was that Wolfman Jack? Listen, I was gonna make a comment about her secret spot, okay? But it just felt too easy. I couldn't bring myself to do it, okay? I'm sorry. I failed you.
Come on, Ralph.
I mean, it's weird, but not in a scary way. It's like in a pedo kind of a way, you know? The guy just doesn't fit in the movie. It's very odd. Super pedo, is that your favorite superhero? I think we just saw him. Like, I don't know if he's super pedo, but he's definitely pretty high on the pedo tier list in terms of like pedo-tude. He's S-tier pedo. I think it's the hat and the mustache.
Mabel was right. I'm here for research.
What exactly, though, are you researching here?
Chicks that like my books.
I don't really have much of a story either. I've always just written other people's stories. My parents died in a car accident when I was 9.
Oh, wait, sorry, that was a story. I lied. There's really not much about me. I have this massive tragic backstory, but just a millionaire author. Nothing really special about me. Little bits of cinematography like that, even though I complained about the weird transition into it, it looks like he's actually going for a thing. Not even a silent movie, but like an old movie soundstage kind of a look to it, right? It's a throwback to a particular kind of a look. Maybe it's just me, but I'm like a sucker for it, and I'm glad that he included that. Every once in a while, he does some interesting things with the camera. At least, I can give him that. Who knows, by the end I might like it. I tell you what, though, it's moving very slowly. I might have spoiled myself by watching that first episode of Uzumaki. I'm just annoyed whenever something isn't perfect.
Before he can begin to transform your town into his image.
He's gonna make everybody go bald. He's over-explaining. That's him as a character. Like, he wishes he was in a Universal monster movie.
Feast.
No balls.
Quite a world we got here. Only getting worse, you ask me.
Oh, I think he's turning up the main accent a little bit. It was on a 2, but he's turned it up to like a 4.5 now. It's weird too, because he's the only one doing it now. None of these people sound like Mainers or Maineroonies or Maynards or whatever they call themselves. They're not speaking Mainese.
Go back to New York, asshole.
Matt Burke, school teacher. I've enjoyed your books.
Sometimes things happen that are so terrible your brain won't let you remember.
I think his Bill Pullman jaw was malfunctioning. It looked like he was only speaking out of one side of it. Oh, my gremlin's done. I gotta check the microwave.
Oh my god. So embarrassing. She thinks that we will run off together or something.
Sounds kind of nice, actually.
Boy, they're moving awful fast, huh?
Ralphie!
Can't see anything, man. Man, they're drawing this out.
Ralph?
Danny?
I feel sick.
God, that was lame. Pretty lame, yep. Renfield.
Thirsty. Good.
Water!
And some cockroach-flavored pizza rolls, quick. I've never understood the depressed priest. If you believe in heaven, isn't it kind of insulting to God for a priest to be a depressed drunk? Strange trope. This is my favorite chapter of the Bible. Extra super chunky. Yes, it's very slow moving, and the post-production, editing, the way that they're doing this, it's just so bad. It's so schlocky. I've used this term before, but it has like the artifice of atmosphere. It's not really pulling me in at all, and it feels way longer than it's actually been. Hold on. That's not a good sign. Jump scare? Oh. Jump scare. Oh, he's faking me out. Jump scare. Oh, I hate being off. I'm always so close.
Are you and Miss Norton dating?
Don't answer that.
I take it you're Mabel's daughter?
That's not funny. Everybody hates Mabel. She won't shut up. That loudmouth bitch. Listen, I gotta talk to you. I got this weird mouth thing.
Mike.
Music's gonna kick in after the jump scare thing happens.
So good, Mike.
Kind of like an inverse jump scare there, huh? This is another one of those movies that they're overdoing the colored light thing. It's like every scene has to have some kind of colored light. And I know I've said before that I'm a sucker for this stuff, but it's for accent. It flattens it and cheapens it.
Where did you get those marks, Mike?
Is everything all right, Mr. Burke?
No, you're taking too long. I want to like the lighting. It's just so overused. The horror movie color grading stuff that really started to happen, I guess, what, in the 2000s was when, you know, everything had to look all dark and blue or green.
I know how it sounds. The idea that Mike Ryerson is some kind of, Jesus, creature of the night.
It does sound
crazy.
Like a Stephen King line. Man, I don't get where some of these directors get the confidence to make a movie that's paced like this when all you're doing is showing us like tropes of things that people have seen before and like the exact same sequence that you would expect to see them in. They're making us wait for the thing that we all know is going to happen. When they finally give it to us, it's not very good. It's not even a good example of the trope. Oh my God. Feels like I've been here for hours.
According to folklore, they disappear after death.
I read that on the car ride over here.
There's persimmons.
Pernicious anemia.
And your body can't make blood fast enough.
Because it's too delicious. We're gonna get the window thing now, right? There you go. Angus Young, is that you? You got the cross buff.
I'll set you free, Danny. You have my word.
Now it's Stranger Things. It's the Lost Boys. Where's Corey Feldman?
Guess I gotta go kill Barlow.
How did he know about Barlow exactly? That would have been funny if they just showed him like reading the exact same comic book and making the exact same notes. Wow. How many megapixels does your cross have? So, wait. The rule is, like, the cross has to be in his hand in order to be effective? That didn't happen a minute ago with, what's that kid's name? Mark? Oh, it's proximity. Okay.
Is Mike Ryerson's body still downstairs?
Unless it got up and walked out last night.
This is some shit.
Boo.
Marjorie Glick is dead and Mike Ryerson's corpse is missing.
She's bordering between a Maine accent and, like, a British thing. It's weird.
White roses, garlic, all are supposed to be deterrents for vampires.
Vampires. They should all be saying that. Vampire. It's like he's got an everlasting gobstopper in his cheek.
We don't need to exhume the boy. When the mother is laid up over there at Green's mortuary, we could pay her a visit.
And do what?
Move the plot along.
Night comes.
Oh, God. No!
You three go.
All of the weird orchestral OST stuff that they have, like, it's unnecessary. It's just another layer that adds on that artificial horror movie atmosphere, you know? Setting up that shot that way, it's comic booky. Not in a good way. Silly. Schlocky.
They got Danny.
Count Barlow looks way cooler in that old one compared to this.
Light, get the light.
Anything?
Sorry, I almost swallowed my wad of tobacco.
If vampires exist at all, that is.
Jump scare? Ah.
How will we protect ourselves?
Doing this probably is a good start, yeah. Here, take these tongue depressors. When a vampire tries to bite you, just jab one down his throat. You've already did this gag before!
Danny.
Oh, hell!
What are you doing?
What do we do?
We hold her hand. It's Kane!
Prefect! It's not working!
Yes, the tension's not working.
You're the writer? Think of something!
Speed up the scene!
Shit, it's glowing!
Yeah, she thinks it's funny too.
Making me lie down in green pastures.
Beans, the musical fruit.
Get up, babe! Get up!
Oh no, not Alfre Woodard. Well, that was easy. It's real. What are you gonna do? Saw your head off? It's real hard to kill a vampire until it just becomes the easiest thing in the world.
What is it? It's a rabies shot.
You'd probably have better luck touching a cross to your neck or something. Or doing like a cross-shaped stitch. By the way, I don't remember this rabies angle from the original Salem's Lot either. Again, I don't remember anything about the story, but this doesn't seem familiar in any way. Alfre's screams and grunts are kind of funny. Her whole character, I don't think she's taking this all that seriously. I mean, I don't blame her for not taking this seriously. Okay, so vampiric possession is tantamount to rabies.
Crosses, holy water.
Jawbreakers, all my favorite things. Child acting. Man, that's a tough kid though, huh? Jeez. He got the quad damage power up before he got that tire iron. Like, you saw how easily, in the beginning of the movie, how easily the teacher guy just lifted him off like he was nothing, and yet he smashed that dude. Let's see that again. Granted, you know, this guy doesn't really look like he could take a shot. His mustache doesn't even sense danger.
Haven't you noticed anything out of the ordinary in the lot recently?
Yeah, it looks like you got a mouthful of Hubba Bubba.
The mortality rate has been rather high in the lot, medically speaking, of course.
As opposed to what?
In my youth, I had my own unusual experiences, so you have to do a lot less to convince someone like me.
I think one shot would convince you of anything.
I still believe in the awesome power of the church. It's a force.
It's a golden LED light.
Can I help you?
He's dressed like Donatello.
I'm gonna go after them. I just need to get some supplies.
He really should be like at least 16.
Barlow, I think he's the head vampire.
Wait a minute, what kind of thermos was that? Oh, I think it's Batman, actually. Okay, alright, that checks out. For a second there, I thought it was like Powerpuff Girls or something. I'm like, that's anachronistic.
You're like, what, 11?
3/4.
You killed Stryker.
I know it's hard to believe you should have seen it. It was even sillier. Donald Sutherland?
It has to be through his heart.
Yeah, I'm a writer, I know. Look at the way she's power walking. Alfre Woodard is power walking. She's not scared enough of vampires to run for her life.
Maybe he'll reach out to someone who will.
I don't want to hear it.
Well, you need to hear it because something needs to be done about it. And you're running away. You're supposed to be protecting it.
Not alive, Doctor.
I don't want to be mean. And technically I can say this because I've also had a stroke, but has Alfre Woodard had a stroke? Because she sounds like she's had a couple of drinks before filming. It's not just me, right? You guys can pick up on that, can't you? Bit of a slur.
You're giving up.
I'm surviving. That's what I'm doing.
And I'm also drinking. They're both kind of drunk.
What's the news, Mom?
I met an incredible man.
Of course you did.
No, Susan! You get your hands off my daughter! You bring my daughter back here!
She's at the station. He'll probably be here soon.
We need to get to the church.
Mark, go upstairs to your room. Let the adults finish talking.
No, Dad. We need...
No, Mr. Petrie, don't.
Why isn't his mother saying anything? The cross started glowing. That's weird. What? Does he have a vein comb over?
Come in.
It's Rob Halford. He's looking very vascular.
I am a priest.
Sad to see a man's faith fail.
Oh, so it only works for Christians.
Play with us. Let us in.
Can't they make one thing look cool in this movie, please? Just one thing. Squealing like a bunch of marmosets. Shut up.
She's been bit.
I thought that was him groaning.
Susan, you're gonna be all right.
You're gonna be okay. Drink the goddamn blood.
It's too late for her.
No, no.
I mean, you could at least try the rabies thing, right?
There's only one way to help her now, Ben.
How do you know? What medical textbook? They just forgot about the rabies thing. Crosses work for Christians. Rabies vaccine for everybody else. I thought that was the rule. Couldn't you just draw with a Sharpie crosses all over your clothing, all over your skin if you want, right? And then you just become a glowing anti-vampire device, stroll to your car, and drive to the nearest military base, I guess. Or, I don't know, drive to the Vatican. Catholicism seems to work pretty well in these situations. Either that or contact the Center for Disease Control, right? Just flood the whole place with rabies vaccine. Simple fix.
What about the sheriff?
Audience clap. So awful. I was thinking about maybe giving the It remake a shot, because I remember more about it. And I didn't particularly think the TV movie It from the 1980s was all that great either. Everybody loves Tim Curry, right? And he's the best thing about it, surely, but it's not a very good movie, miniseries, whatever you want to call it. So I'm thinking, okay, as dumb as I thought the Pennywise design was in the remake, I could still give the movie a shot because it's a lot of people talk about it being pretty good, but the trailer didn't look good, but I was thinking about giving it a shot. But if it's this dude, I really don't think it's going to be my cup of tea. I don't think I will. I think I'll just stay away from it, honestly. It's supposed to be really long, too, isn't it? This already feels 10 times longer than it has been. I guess the good news for him is that vampires in this movie, they have the body consistency of a sponge cake, so...
You okay?
Just a little bored.
He found me. Rusher all hiding.
Rusherall? What? Has this kid been drinking, too?
Rusher all hiding.
Rusherall? Rusherall hiding. You don't want to redo that line, huh? You want to retake that, maybe?
They're here.
They've got my bottle of vodka.
No cars.
All the vampires drove out to the...
Sticks you got.
I kid you not, I stopped myself from saying the sentence, but that was what I was going to say. All the vampires went to the drive-in. I should have just finished my sentence. But I thought, no, that's too stupid.
He's gotta get doctors!
And the cars are coffins.
Come on, Alfre.
It's not Susan Ben. It's just something that looks like her.
It's just a scene that looks like something from 1,000 other movies. It's just the same moral dilemma that... Whatever. Oh boy.
Dr. Carter! Get away from my daughter! Let's go!
The sun hat's pretty funny. I don't think all of the cars back then had those safety lock things where you could open the trunk from the inside.
Get to the sunlight!
I like how the sunlight conveniently stopped. Oh no, it's moving again. I hate when the sun is a plot convenience. Cool, stack them up, see how high you can get. Aren't vampires supposed to be super fast and strong and stuff? So bad. Oh, it looks awful. It just looks terrible.
There have to be somewhere big enough for a coffin.
There has to be some kind of pause button for the sun. You ought to look for that. I think it's just going to take them just enough time to open up the casket before it's dark. Oh, here it comes. The sun's coming again. This movie sucks. I tell you what, out of all the acting, he's not the worst. You could put that kid in a better movie. I wouldn't have a problem with it. It's not like he's got some kind of distracting Bill Pullman jaw or a drunken half Maine, half Sri Lankan accent.
Don't do this.
Sign a prenup. Huh? Just the worst cheapo CGI. All right, everybody go to the concession stand. Let's get some celebratory cotton candy.
What do we do now?
Sit here and think for another 7 minutes, because the movie isn't over yet.
We make our escape.
Oh my god, dude. Jump scare? Probably not. It would have happened by now. So anyway, yeah, that was 2024's Salem's Lot. Pretty Pretty meh. The problem with a lot of these modern horror movies is that they take a lot of this aesthetic that I think, you know, came from like George Romero's Creepshow, like where you're really trying to make a movie look like an old classic horror comic, but it's just so overdone. The biggest problem with this movie, more than anything else, is the pacing. It made it 10 times worse. Like, yeah, I wouldn't have enjoyed it if it had moved quicker either, because the way that they tackle all of these like old tropes is not in any kind of a fun or original way, or even really in a way that looked like they gave a crap, but at least it would have been faster. The fact that they make you wait so long for the thing you've seen a billion times, and then when they finally do the thing, it's not even that good. It makes me want to hate it. It's, man, yeah, I don't know. This is modern schlock to me. Let me look and see if Stephen King actually said anything about this movie. This is from February 20th, 2024. Bloody disgusting. Stephen King again tweets support for shelved Salem's Lot remake from Warner Brothers. Okay, so this movie was shelved, and it just got releasing from Max, I guess. I wish I could do a Jordy Verrill impression or something, but I can't. But he says, between you and me, Twitter, I've seen the new Salem's Lot and it's quite good. Old school horror filmmaking. Slow build, big payoff. Where was the big payoff, Steve? Other than your bank account. Not sure why Warner Brothers is holding it back, not like it's embarrassing or anything. Who knows? I just write the fucking things. Yeah, you don't really know what a great movie is either. Your taste is questionable when it comes to film. Stephen King loves schlock. He's a big fan of schlock. If you don't believe me, watch Maximum Overdrive. It's hard to explain, but it's like there's really bad pacing in the film. Yes, it's definitely bad pacing. They take too long. They take too long with everything. And since you don't really care too much about these characters, because who would? There's no reason to be on the edge of your seat about any of it. I looked up some comments about the film. One person said, the new Salem's Lot just dropped, and another responded, yeah, like a turd. Okay, sure. I mean, you're going to find, I don't really care what other people think about it. I just wanted to see if Stephen King, like I assumed he would, said anything positive about it. This is back in February, but he said he saw it and he considers it, quote, quite good. Well, no, I disagree with Stephen King. I don't think that was quite good. I actually thought that was pretty mediocre. And if I was to give it a score between 0 to 5, I'd probably give it maybe a 1.5 or a 2. Maybe a 1.5, honestly. There wasn't a lot to like about it. What Stephen King was calling old school horror just feels like a tired rehash of tropes to me. You could say that a lot of this stuff is like a throwback. The artifice is so like apparent, you know, just like right on the nose, not even trying to like be anything other than a ripoff of stuff that you've seen thousands of times before in the exact same way, portrayed in the exact same way 1,000 times before. And this might as well have been a TV movie, because like they didn't show you like no cool vampire special effects. They would cut away, you know, really bad like post-production stuff that just gives the whole thing like too much of a fake plasticky feel to it. Same thing with the color grading and just the stuff with the colored lights that they were doing too. It's like, it's not Creepshow. It's never gonna be Creepshow. I suppose like bits of cinematography, excuse me, bits of cinematography that you would expect to look kind of like interesting and cool. Like I'll just take, for example, since we're here, this bar scene, right? He's in the dark and then he leans forward, he's in the blue light. Like it's still directed in such a way that it just feels very textbook, you know? It feels like you've seen this particular kind of reveal for this kind of thing a billion times over. It was like it was made in like the back of a fast food restaurant, you know? It's down to the letter. The bun has to look like this, you know? The burgers have to be square-shaped patties, you know? And this is a square-shaped burger movie. No offense to Wendy's, but actually all offense to Wendy's and all other fast food restaurants. I'm not saying you guys suck because you have square burgers. You just suck. I don't really have much else to say about this. I don't really want to say any more about this. Your favorite scenes were with Alfre Woodard saying things. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but no. I feel like just about every attempt at comedy that this movie tried to make, it sucked. Every attempt at everything that it tried to make, horror also, just complete lack of real atmosphere. It's all very like Funko Pop haunted house.